but it's not going too bad. It is pretty breezy, as you can see the trees in the background. So you know, it's trying to do its thing. What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7, and here I have another cool product. This time it's the Walkera Vitus or Vitus. Now when you first look at this, you think it definitely does look like the DJI Mavic, and you would not be wrong, because yeah, it absolutely does. It does have a similar style folding design, same style of camera, everything looks, you know, well, identical. But anyway, what we have here is a foldable design. It has 3 direction of obstacle avoidance. So not just like the Mavic at the front, it also does have it at the side, has a 4K camera, real-time HD video transmission, does have a 3-axis gimbal, and it does have this AR games things as well. Now let's have a look around quickly before we open it up. And here we have the picture of it when it's actually all folded up. And as you can see, it looks very similar. It does have a nice Devo F8S controller. That's the VR games thing there. It's kind of like a Walkera Go app. And it also says here, Walkera drone, 4K camera allows you to enjoy high definition visual enjoyment. I bet it does. So that's enough for that. Let's get cracking. All right, this guy was sent to me from GearBest for review, so thank you very much for that. And I'll be definitely doing a few more videos of this, actually getting in the air set up. And I think I do have a DJI Mavic coming, so I can hopefully do a comparison as well. So first up here is the quick start guide version 1.0. Now let's have a look and see what you get in here. In this small white box, and I must admit the packaging does look very nice. If I zoom up there, you can see it's kind of like a nice foam with the cutout for the name there, Vitus or something like that. But overall packaging is very nice. So let's go see what is inside this particular box. Now that's just your basic charger there to charge up. It looks to be your transmitter and also the battery for the drone itself. Okay, next up here, let's have a look. Here we have a full set of counterclockwise and clockwise blades, and let's just have a look at them, which is nice. You get a full set. Obviously there's some already installed on the drone itself. And let's have a look at these. Now, the quality does not seem as good as the DJI stuff. Just by feeling it, and it's a bit flimsy. This edge is very sharp, but I guess proof's in the pudding. We'll see how it performs. Not going to, you know, complain about that much about it, but there we go. At least we get a full set of props. Next up, another compartment here. We have an additional bracket. Not too sure what that is for, but we'll check that out later, maybe for a tablet or something like that. Here we have our power cord for the charger, 2 sets of Allen keys, different sizes obviously. A normal USB to micro USB. It says here we have some spare parts, skid landing dampening mat, and also some little what are those little stabilizing balls if you lose some for the gimbal. That's all those 3. Now here we go. Let's have a look at the remote itself. It does seem very nice. The quality in this seems very nice, and the antennas stick out like that. Very unusual. That's the only way. There is no other adjustments. Just it comes out like that. And here we fold these up. These are for your phone, and they slide up just like this. But I'll go over this more. As you see, it's got manual, auto and sports mode, all that kind of good stuff. It does have an inbuilt fan just there as well, but we'll go over this later on in the video. Okay, and the main event. Here we have the Walkera Vitus. So let's move this box out of the way. It's pretty hefty, that's for sure. Alrighty, now here is the Walkera Vitus, and like I mentioned, it does seem pretty heavy and pretty solid in the hand, that's for sure. It does have a very similar appearance to the DJI Mavic, even once folded, and you have to pull them out in a particular way. So I guess the arms that are at the back, you pull these out like that, pull the front ones out like that. Same at the back. There we go. That's it. And once it's fully extended, it is quite large in the hand. One thing that's noticed, if you see how it's rocking back and forth, you have these little legs under here that you extend just like that on each, if I can get my finger in there, on each corner. They're like little landing legs, just like that. So when you place it down, it's rock solid. So that's kind of cool, but just another step when you want to pack it back up, you always need to put them in as well. Okay, so Up front, obviously, we have a 3-axis gimbal, and it's got this nice little gimbal guard here, very well implemented. It's easy to put on and put back in, just like that. And it also does have optical flow positioning vision system, and that is at the bottom here, as you can see, just here. It's got like a little camera there to help it indoors of how GPS and all that kind of stuff, to help it position and kind of keep track of the target so it doesn't just drift off. It does obviously have GPS and GLONASS, dual satellite positioning and navigation system, but that is in there when it's indoors. You can see we do have a fan in there as well. Now in a weird position, it's kind of tucked up. There is your micro SD card. On the side here, you have your little reset button and also your micro SD card slot. And on each motor, it does have LED indicators, as you can see, just like that. But when we start it up and get flying, we'll be able to see the colors of those. And there is another LED indicator at the back as well. Up top, it does have a pretty large battery, and it's held in pretty securely. You got to push these two buttons in and lift it out, and there we go. It does have its own little charging indicator there to tell you how it is. Very similar to the DJI stuff. So yeah, it is very heavy, and it easily just slits back in there just like that, and it's not going anywhere. Now the battery there is 11.4 volt, 5200 milliamp hour 3S LiPo, and apparently it should give you around about 22 minutes of flight time. Realistically, you know, we'll see how that goes in real life use, maybe 20 to 21 minutes or something like that, but we'll definitely check that out. Now the 3-axis gimbal here is just like any other drone, like the DJI or something like that, and it does have a Sony 1/2.3 inch CMOS sensor with a 12 megapixel camera. The field of view is 85 millimeters, does have a f/2.8 aperture. Now the photo resolution is 4000 by 3000, which is 12 megapixel, or 3840 by 2160 at 8 megapixel. That does also record in 4K at a maximum frame rate of 30 frames a second, or at 1080p at 30 frames or 60 frames a second, with a maximum code rate of 64 megabits. Now quickly, signal range on the controller in optimal conditions is roughly 1.5 kilometers, and it does also have a built-in 7.4 volt 2200 milliamp 2S LiPo battery. Now the brushless motors that you get with this are the WKWS 28017A brushless motors with the Vitus 320 ESCs powering them. So the total weight of this guy is 890 grams, so just shy of a kilo, 100 more grams, and that'll be topping 1 kilo. So like I said, it is pretty hefty, but it does feel okay. It does have some warning stickers here. Obviously you need to peel all this off before we take her into the air, and I did notice one on the actual gimbal here as well, so make sure we take that guy off. So obviously you get a few manuals here, you get an inbox list of articles, and you get a pretty comprehensive quick start guide. Gives you everything you need to know, and it has some color there, which is good, and it does have all those smart features like you'd expect, but it is in Chinese, so it isn't that thick really, and not much to learn and to read on. Okay, now here is the controller, and like I mentioned before, here are the antennas in that kind of weird orientation. There are no other movements for those. You just push them in or push them out and they lock in just like that. Here we have, if I can get them up, here we go, your device holder, and they do have a fair range of movement, as you can see. Up here we have a row of LEDs, and that is your power indicator. If we just kind of push and hold this button, you will notice there, blue and red. So that's your on and off button obviously, and it also does have a small fan under there as well. This little red light here is your status indication. This small button here is for taking photos. The other one over here is for your video button. You obviously have your basic sticks, and it does come out of the box in mode 2. You also have a little dial switch here which puts you in different modes. You have manual, auto and sport, and if you push down on that, that'll take you to your home point. On the side here, covered by this little rubber grommet there, is your charging port, and at the back here we have some more buttons and another port here which apparently is for your training or upgrade port, and also on the left here, or my left, sorry, is your camera or EV dial, and on my right hand side is your gimbal or pitch dial. But the overall quality seems decent, on par with I guess, the DJI stuff. It feels quite nice in the hand. The drone doesn't feel as good as the Mavic, for example, but it is cheaper, so you got to I guess give it that. But it does look decent, but looks is one thing, its performance is another. So it'd be very interesting to see how this performs. But I'll definitely be doing that in another video, because this one I just want to give you an unboxing, have a look at all the equipment and what you get with it. So before I show the app, I need to charge his battery because it is running a little bit low, and I'm getting warnings from the transmitter and all that kind of stuff. It does include this charger, which you can charge a transmitter with that plug there, and this little plug here is for your battery. Simply just line it up at the top here, and there we go, good to go. So I'll put these on charge, and then hopefully I can get the app running and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, now as you can see, I'm connected to the Walkera app, and sorry if it's a little bit windy outside, just because I wanted to do this outside so the actual drone can get some GPS. So here's the app here, and it's not the best app, to be honest, at the moment. You can't even download it from the actual official Play Store for Android. I'm not too sure about Apple, but anyway, you want to connect, go to the drone that you want, or the quad, sorry, and there we go. So that is ours, and as you can see, we are connected. Looks very similar to a DJI kind of product. So up here we have, as you can see there, the return to home, and obviously it tells you if you want to return to home, and I want to say no. Next up, just here, we have the auto takeoff. This one here is a function box. Hasn't got many at the moment. I do believe there's supposed to be more like, you know, gesture shot, active track, and different aerial modes, but this is the first time I've actually booted this thing up, so we need to double check. Up here we have our battery level. As you can see, we're at 62%. I didn't charge it fully, just wanted to try and get some battery out so I can just see how it runs. So I got 62%, and when it goes to the H here, it will automatically return to home. You have a little button up here, the arrow, to kind of return to the last step. Obviously here it says connected, that just basically gives us a little indication if we're connected or disconnected. Flight time up here, and next to that we have the flight modes. As you can see, it's in GPS mode at the moment, and you can obviously turn that off later. Number of satellites up the top here, apparently we have 11 satellites, as you can see just there, and next to that we have the remote controller signal strength, which shows 66%, and then the transmission strength, which is nearly 4 bars. Now the battery level there, that is the real-time display of the battery on the quad itself, so 62%. Next up, we've got a little gear here that goes through our settings, and this app's, like I said, it's a bit buggy. It's in kind of Chinese and in English, so it's kind of weird. So we have our units of measurement there, English or metric, show airline, on and off, show offline map, if that's all those is. Go to the quad itself. I guess you can put like a geofence, altitude limit. We can change that, return to height. So there we go, return to, so we go there. Adjust the RTL height, so we're at that 25 meters. We'll just leave it at, oh, let's just leave it at that for the meantime. Go back. Sensors. Flight has been disconnected. Please okay, so these are all normal stuff here, like you can do with your DJI drones and all that kind of stuff. You can calibrate all your sensors, which is really cool. Now here's the transmitter, RC fill. Oh, so you can change, you know, I guess, if you want it to be really aggressive or have it more linear with your feel on the sticks. Stick mode, Japanese, American, I guess you can do mode 1, mode 2. That's just ID, SSID, don't have a clue what that is. But here we have our gimbal, that's for our camera settings, and we have local or device, so I guess you can install it on the device, or local will be maybe to the phone, I'm not too sure. Shortcuts, you can adjust your roll, so I guess it's more aggressive, and gimbal calibration. Here we go, but it's saying it's been disconnected, so anyway. And here's our battery. Actually, I like to show the voltage, so let me see that. Voltage 12 volts, power 62%, and the capacity is 5,200 milliamps. Now on the right here we have our camera modes and settings. So we can change all the ISO and all that kind of, and see how this app, so it says flight control's been disconnected. It kind of always comes back. Got the white, there we go, white balance, auto, you can leave it like that. Cloudy, sunny, fluorescent, indoor, or candlelight. That's pretty cool. We'll just leave it at auto. What else do we have here? The photo, so we can do our different ratios. I like doing 16:9. Resolution goes up to 8 or 12 megapixels. Format, JPEG, so you can do JPEG, RAW, or both, which is nice. And we have grid. We can have, oh yeah, we've got the grid lines on the screen if you like that, or centering. Let's just leave it on center. Anti-flicker, auto, closed, or just leave it on normal. Okay, format SD card. There is no SD card in there at the moment, so leave it at that. And obviously we have, oh, let's click that and it's waiting for being reconnected. But you can change from there, you go video mode to your normal camera mode, and if you click here it'll go to your camera that you recently just, like photos or videos that you recently just took. And at the bottom here it says your GPS positioning status. So when connected, GPS positioning appears. When disconnected, it'll say GPS not positioning. At the bottom here you see your distance, height, HS and VS. So that gives you all your, your height, distance away of the height, HS, and your, I guess your speeds going up and down. And at the bottom here, in the bottom left, you have a little map, but it's not working at the moment. Maybe if I can see if I can reconnect to the drone and we can get this all going. But that's basic overview of the screen. And what I'll do, I'll just get it up in the air just to see how it goes for this first run. This is just going to be part one of this video, like I said. So yeah, there'll be more videos on this, but let's see how if we can reconnect the drone. Okay, so we have the drone outside here, and at the back left you see little LEDs just down there. When the bottom left one, or sorry, the left one is actually flashing, that means the GPS is working, and we actually have 14 satellites, which is excellent. So you should be able to good to go. Now to start the props, you can push out like that, and they start up just like that. You can turn them off like that, or when it's landed, you just push down like that. And I should have the screen on AZ recorder, so you can see it's telling me on either side there is some obstacles, which is correct, because it does have 3 obstacle avoidance: front, left, and right. So let's put it up. So we can test how good the GPS lock is. Let me just bring it into the camera frame a little bit. There we go. So that's on, I'm not touching the sticks, just like that. So we can see how well it holds its position, and you can see the footage on the screen there as well. I don't have the SD card in there as yet, but it seems pretty rock solid. I can rotate the gimbal, obviously. There we go. And you can hold it a little bit, and if you want to go faster and slower, all that kind of stuff. But it's not going too bad. It is pretty breezy, as you can see the trees in the background. So it's trying to do its thing. It's drifting a little bit. I haven't calibrated anything. No sensors, no gimbal, no GPS. I'll just put it out here just for the first time to see how it actually performs. So let's go over here a little bit. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a close-up on it. So everything seems to be working pretty well. Slowly rotating it. The controls seem okay. And like I said, so that it has a fair bit of breeze. Just seeing what happens. Oh, so it moves back. See that? It moved back from when I went to the actual drone. So that's pretty cool. Not too sure if that was in frame, but let me just zoom out a little bit. I'll show you again. On the side as well, see how the sensors, it moves either way. Same there as well. So it is fairly close though. And on this side as well. just like that as well. So that's pretty cool. At least they're working. Let's go back a bit and see if it actually stops. Yeah, so that's stopped. I got full stick on moving forward. It's not doing anything. So that's pretty cool. And everything's stock. I haven't changed anything like I mentioned before. But it looks pretty good. Let's bring it up a little bit and see how it looks. And yeah, I don't have an SD card. I just wanted to see how this performs. So this is just going to be part one. I'll definitely have another part two with this and compare it against the obviously competitor, which is a DJI Mavic. And I'm pointing, I got full stick forward there. It's not letting me go because of the sensors. And it's saying there 4.7 meters. I don't think that's correct. Yeah, no, that's not right. That's not, well, to me anyway. I'm only about a meter away, so yeah. Let's try an auto landing. I want to try an auto landing. So if I get this in, is it in the frame? Okay, let's just try auto landing. Vertically land. Is it doing anything? Landing. Oh, as you can see, it's fighting it a bit. And it's, I must admit, it's doing a very good job keeping the height, keeping the height, and it's not, you know, it's not going around too much, but it's pretty decent. Not too bad. How about you say, what do you reckon I just get a memory card, see if I can find one and put it in there. I don't know why the landing didn't work. Landing, yes. Not strange. Maybe because it's sensing there's things around it. I'm not too sure. But anyway, we'll bring it down. Okay, memory card is in. Let's give it another fly. Pull out to the sides. There we go. And hopefully I don't need a format or anything like that. Still straight out of my Phantom 4. But let's see if I can start the video recording. Hopefully it's recording. Now it says it's recording. Hang on one sec. Let me just see what the actual settings are for the video. So you can do preview size as well, 1080p or 30 frames a second, which is cool. But where is... record size 1080p at 30 frames a second. So let me just stop that and let's start that again. That should be 1080p at 30 frames a second. Hopefully it looks okay. Let's bring it up. Said it's recording, so let's have a look. So yeah, some of these, I don't think that's saying it's 10 meters, but I haven't really adjusted anything. But let's just have a look around. I'm not going over anyone else's house. There we go, slow rotation. Rotate the gimbal. Let's have a look down. Any balls on my roof? Right, well there I am. How's the delay? I'm going to wave now. Yeah, not bad. Seems pretty good. That goes all the way 90 degrees as well, which is good. Let's bring that up nice and quick, and that can be adjusted like I mentioned. And at the moment, oh, let's put it on. There we go. I don't want to make this video go for too long. But so far so good, seems okay. So there you go. It does move back, but you have to go pretty close to it. That's pretty close to the blade. The ratio on this screen might look a bit funny because it's meant for a phone. This is on a tablet. Only way I'll get it working. So there we go. As you can see, gimbal seems to be working all right. But I think I might call it quits for this video. I don't want to go too long. This is only the part 1. I'll definitely be doing other videos for this. Definitely against the Mavic as well. Yeah. Let's bring it down. So I hope you like this video, guys. Any questions, like always? Let me land it. So guys, hope you enjoyed part 1 for the Walkera Vitus. Seems like a pretty cool drone. Some issues with the app and all that kind of stuff, so hopefully there are going to be some future updates to kind of smooth all that stuff out. I'm sure there will be, because it just got released, and yeah, we'll wait and see. But part 2 will be released soon, and I'll do a comparison with the, of course, DJI Mavic and flight time, and maybe the footage you get from the camera and all that kind of cool stuff. But links in the description, want to go check it out. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video.